It's a parent's right and responsibility to recognize what is best for their children's well-being, and it's a parent's authority to make the health decisions on behalf of their children. In closing, I implore you to give our children some normalcy, allow healthy and socially interact, convey emotion, and enjoy these precious years being a kid again. Thank you again for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much. That was very thought out and thorough. Appreciate it.
We have one more.
Okay, and we'll move on now. Teresa, next one. Next comment.
Shannon Danger.
Okay, Shannon? You ready? She's still there? There's a puppy.
You're good. That's our school board meeting. Virtual is so fucked up. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
What are you listening to? How long are you going to
Teresa, do you know if Shannon's still there?
Yeah, she's showing us still here.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm here. I see everybody.
Oh,
Y'all see me?
yep, now we have you.
I can't see y'all. Y'all are all gone now. Okay. Oh, shoot. I hate to do anything, but I really want to see your faces. Okay, y'all are all experts at this, and I'm not. Okay, give me one more second. Maybe I can show everybody.
Okay.
Okay, well, whatever. Okay, so Bobby did a beautiful job. Can you hear me okay? I did have someone from the public say they can only see our faces. They cannot hear us speak. So hopefully, y'all can still hear me though, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Fantastic. Okay, Bobby did a beautiful job. I absolutely had I did not want to come and speak, but when I found out the Desi Hoppy Field Day, our kids are supposed to wear a mask when they're outside, out there. You know, I was already upset enough. Anyone who knows me, I've got 6 kids. I absolutely love kids. I love being a part of kids' lives. And I was really irritated that I couldn't even go to watch my son, who's been homeschooled his entire life. This is the one year I get to go watch him. Can't go out and see him because COVID, but yet we can go ahead and do junior high and high school track meets, but we can't do the one day of the hobby field day with parents there for whatever reason. But then the kids have to wear a mask while they're outside, and of course that's absolutely absurd. What I'm saying is the hypocrisy is disgusting. I'm just absolutely, one of my daughters, now both my daughters are cheerleaders. One of them, you sit there and you watch them build pyramids, no mask, they can do what they want. Football players can do their thing. Basketball, we all love watching basketball. You're all spitting on each other, sweating on each other, but yet when you turn around and you see that the kids that are in elementary school, I was watching last week, I wrote y'all a letter, y'all all received it, that the little kid was getting out of the car and the mother had just a mask. And I thought to myself, that little kid is about 3 or 4 years old. And that little kid's going to have to wear that mask for about 8 to 9 hours. And all day long, when that child's mask is crooked or that child's mask comes off, that child's going to be reprimanded repeatedly. What are we doing to our children as far as emotionally? God gave us a face so that we could smile to others, so that we could share a smile. And since this whole mask thing has gone crazy, you've passed people that you don't even know it was them because the mask is covering their entire face. That's not the way we're supposed to live. We're not supposed to live in fear. We live in the United States of America, and it doesn't feel like it because my children go to school and they have to make sure their mask is on, and it's on this entire time. And obviously, Bobby has all the right numbers, but the only number that I'm concerned about is there's 86 schools in the state of Texas that are now no longer having to wear masks as of the 10th of March. And I'm not really sure why Columbus is not on that list. We're a small town, born and raised right in this area. We all love our children. Y'all are taking the time to be the leaders. And what I'm asking you tonight to do is lead this community and lead the children and take the mask off. And if someone's truly fearful of a mask, wear 2 or 3 masks. If you're a school teacher and you're afraid, then I would say you probably should retire. Or if it is that you have children and you're afraid, homeschool, my gosh, there's so much out there. Anybody can homeschool their children. You can stay at home and let them talk on the little video thing here. But don't force it on my children anymore. My husband and I pay thousands of dollars in property taxes. And for many years we paid, but we also paid for the homeschool material. And now that I'm paying and I'm in the school system and I'm seeing what's going on, I want to have a voice. And my voice is this. Y'all were elected. Y'all, if not now, when are you planning on taking the mask off? When there were 0 cases here, you didn't take the mask off. You didn't take the mask off whenever Abbott said, go ahead and let's remove the mask. You still require them to be on. And the reality is enough is enough. So I need you to go ahead and basically, y'all were elected to make that call. And these are y'all's kids. These are our kids. We're not in a big city. We're right here in Columbus. And I would ask for you to consider removing the mask so that everybody can move on with their life and enjoy life and smile. So that's all I have to say, and I appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you very much, Shannon. Appreciate it. Any further comment, Teresa?
No, sir, that's it.
Okay, well, thank you all both very much. Those were both very thought out and thorough comments, and we would very much appreciate them. And then we'll move on to item 3, discussion and possible action regarding approval of possible modifications to operational requirements pursuant to Texas Education Public Health Guidance issued on March 3rd, 2021, and Governor Abbott's Executive Order GA-34. Jim?
I'm echoing. So before we can remove or make masks optional, it has to be voted upon by the board. We call this special meeting to have this discussion because we felt it was important to do this before the next board meeting. So consequently, that's why we're having this meeting as soon as we could have it. This was the first available date after spring break where we could all be together. And even though we couldn't all be together, we had to do it virtually because we wanted everybody involved. And some of us are not in Columbus. So it comes down to the board deciding if to make masks optional or to keep masks the same. Although well thought out arguments, I will just say that the letter that we received from the governor says that we still have to maintain quarantining and being able for exposure. And all of that can possibly happen. So if we remove masks and somebody is exposed to someone, they will be subject to quarantine. Our goal here has always been, I wake up every single day to try to make sure that our seniors have a normal senior year. We decided to, when other districts were not doing field day, we did. So we made these plans for field day when it was a pandemic. We didn't plan field day in the last week. So the idea of that we're doing something, we're doing everything we possibly can to make children's lives normal. And the one thing that would break my heart is that if somebody missed prom or missed graduation because of a quarantine or a COVID case. So ultimately, the board has a decision to make as to whether to keep. So right now, what we require our kids to do is to wear masks in the hall. They come into their classroom. If they social distance, which is now 3 feet, not 6 feet, they remove the masks and they go on as normal. So the only time we really require masks is when they enter and walk in the halls. So that's where we are. So.
Okay, how do we go about us discussing this? I guess typically I guess I'm kind of new to the virtualness, and usually we do these things in closed session. So what do you recommend, Jim, as far as us to do? Should I just go ahead and start?
Well, we
go around the table.
Well, we can, or you can move it to closed session. You can do either or, and we can discuss in closed session and come out of closed session and make a decision. Or you can discuss and vote as is. It's totally up to y'all because at this point it's
right.
The ball cold.
Scott, Robert, Michelle, or any thoughts on that?
I know
Ryan?
comments or discussion that I'd like to make some points. So I don't know if it would be best for us to go into closed session and discuss it, or we can discuss it now. I'm okay either way.
I feel, the field day, I agree with a lot of things, but I think there also needs to be a few more topics discussed about field day versus just opening it up. So I'm good either way, though.
Okay.
So
yeah. I'm sorry.
All we can discuss, all we can vote on is the masks for school, right? So if we can vote on the masks, and then if you want to talk about field day, we can do that, and we can go into closed session and we can go through all that. But we can't vote on field day one way or another because it's not part of the board. It's not part of the agenda. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and go on a closed session then, and we can talk about all subjects then that are on the agenda.
All right.
You want to tell them to hold for a second?
Wait.
While I get people out?
All right. Zach's going to move people out, and then we will be able to go into closed session.
Okay. And I don't have the words in front of me for closed session, so the verbiage. Unless you can email it to me real quick, Teresa.
I don't have it.
You can just adjourn this meeting to closed session.
Okay. Are we good to go now, or do I need to wait for Zach?
Yeah, you can adjourn it to closed session, and then Zach will move us out.
Okay. Yeah. So we will adjourn this session to closed session. Then we will come back in shortly.
So what Zach will do is he'll create another meeting that we will go to so that everybody else can stay online so that we don't lose the feed here.
Okay.
1 second and Zach will.
Do we leave this meeting or do we stay here?
Well, you'll leave it once you're going to get a link to a closed session meeting and the board will log off of this and go into the closed session. Everybody else needs to stay in it because that way, when we come out of closed session, we'll just come right back into this meeting. If that makes sense. So
Sounds
you're going to
easy.
send it. It does.
Here we go, Zach.
No pressure, Zach.
That's right.
Oh, so you tell me the people.
What's the board?
I know, sure.
Bo, June, Dorothy, Michelle, Robert, Scott, and Ryan, and me.
Dorothy. All right, let me read them off. Jim, Bo, Dorothy, June, Michelle, Robert, Scott,
Ryan,
and Ryan.
said it? You sent him an email?
I'm gonna got it right there. It's save. And should we get an email called closed session?
Let me see.
So, board members, you can hear, go ahead and hang up on this call.
All right. How do I hang up here?
I'm gonna pick them out so that.
All right.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
It's okay. Bo, you're muted. Bo, muted. Probably good that you're muted now, but
There it is. Okay, my fault. My fault, guys. All right. Coming now, we'll resume from closed session, and we will. I'll look for a possible motion on action item 3 of discussion and possible action regarding the approval of possible modifications to the requirements pursuant to Texas Education Agency Public Health Guidance issued on March 3rd, 2021, and Governor Abbott's Executive Order GA 34. Looking for a motion. Dorothy?
right, she's not.
Yeah, if they did, we all make it back.
Yeah,
Michelle?
we all here. I'm here.
I
Do we see?
Your mom.
Do we see Dorothy?
saw her.
I don't
Thought she
see
was
her.
here.
I don't see her in the list.
I don't see her now. I thought I saw her a minute ago.
Yeah, she's not on the list.
Let me text her.
I'm on mine.
Oh, she's not on the other one.
Michelle, you can make a motion. I don't have the literature in front of me.
I got it.
do?
I'll read it. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I motion to the approval of a possible modification to Governor Abbott's order regarding face masks.
Okay. She makes a motion, and then we'll discuss. We'll talk about it here in a second. She makes a motion. We'll need a favor. All in favor? Just raise your right hand. My second.
I'll
sorry. I
second.
need a second.
I'll second it. I'll second it.
Ryan seconds. I apologize. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. And so for anybody that's left on the call, basically what we've done is when we went to the modifications to this plan, I mean, as long as CISD is in green, the mask wearing will be optional, but encouraged. But from now on, as long as we are in green, mask wearing will be optional. And also, we didn't talk about it in closed session, but there may be a communications regarding field day coming out later on this week. So just want to let everybody know that as well. So anybody else have anything to add? And if not, we'll move to letter 4, which is adjournment. So I'll hereby adjourn the meeting. Meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, y'all.
All right, everybody have a good evening.